Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a singles new love reading for Virgo. We're going to look at the kind of love you're ready to experience now based on the growth you've already done. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Virgos, please. All right, we see the Moon card, Cancer, Pisces energy. All right, we see the Ace of Cups. All right, Virgo. Now, they're viewing you as the Ace of Swords. Oh, I love all these aces coming through. And the connection, we see the Five of Swords. Okay, so we'll see what that means. That's Venus and Aquarius energy. All right, and we have the King of Wands. So this person may have Aries, Leo, Sag in their chart. They may also have Cancer or Pisces. I feel like this is somebody who's very independent. I feel like this is somebody who's quite powerful. I feel like this is someone who's not afraid to be themselves. I also feel like this person in some way, shape, or form is a leader. Okay, so I don't know if they have their own business or, they're in a management role, or just people tend to really look up to this person. They're fiery, they're passionate. I also think you're going to find them to be very attractive. But with the Moon card, now this can indicate a secret admirer, Virgo, but this can also indicate somebody who, beneath this sort of strong, fiery exterior, there's somebody who's quite loving, romantic, nurturing, all right? Yeah, and possibly a secret admirer, okay? But they might have a little bit of ego energy that covers that up at first. We see the Four of Pentacles energy in reverse. Virgo, this is not the type of person who's going to hold back, okay? Especially with that King of Wands energy, this is not somebody who's going to hold back. Now, they might harbor some secret feelings for you for a little bit, but not for very long before telling you. This is someone who maybe you work with or you see out and about in your community, but I see that with the Three of Pentacles here, you and this person are actually very, very compatible, or at least they're seeing that. You want the same things. Now we see the Five of Cups. For some of you, you may meet this person after a period of sadness, betrayal, hurt, or heartbreak. Okay, so again, this person might put on, I don't want to say they're putting on a show, but this person is someone that doesn't like to, necessarily let everybody know that they're actually quite a romantic, or they're quite soft on the inside when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships. But I feel like, again, this is somebody who is going to tell you all of that. They're going to be very open and honest about what they've been through, how they've been hurt. I really think, Virgo, you're going to actually really shift this person's focus, where they might have been focused on things that are not working out and just trying to live their best life, not really trying to be, they're trying to be optimistic, live their best life, but they're kind of hurting inside a little. I feel like you come in and you really shift their focus. And again, but they're also going to take initiative, right? Like, this is not somebody who necessarily likes to dwell on hurt and heartbreak. But yeah, there's something about you that makes them, maybe restores their faith in love, Virgo, or, wow, piques their interest. Okay, but there is a little bit of like melancholy here in their energy. How you're going to be feeling, Page of Swords in reverse. Now, you could be secretly admiring this person, but it can also be the opposite. Maybe you've heard gossip about this person. Which would, again, be not the opposite of that, but you could be a secret admirer. Maybe you've heard gossip about this person. Maybe you're not so sure about this person. They could even rub you a little bit the wrong way at first, okay? But the Page of Swords energy in reverse also indicates that you just might not see this coming, okay? Again, like, I do kind of think they have stronger feelings for you initially than maybe you have for them. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need some convincing here, Virgo. But yeah, you just might not see this, or you might have heard something that you're like, oh yeah, I don't want to, maybe I don't want to touch that. I'm not that interested in someone like that until you get to know them. All right, so let's see what else we need to know. All right, this person is somebody who's very independent. They have a strong sense of self and self-reliance. So striking a balance between individualism and connectedness is important. All right, they're passionate. I do see that with that King of Wands energy. There's never a dull moment with this type of person who enjoys life fully. They could be an exciting lover. Okay, maybe some of my Virgos, you've heard about this person's conquests. All right, they could be retired. Now, that's not going to be for all of you. This is a really specific message. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But this person enjoys their personal time. They have more flexibility in their schedule, and they could be slightly older. Now, as many of my Virgos out there, you already know, retired on this channel doesn't necessarily mean 65 plus. Although, you know, for some of you, that is the case. But retired could also indicate this person retired early, or they've had more than one career. You know, they may have been, I always use the example of a school teacher or like a firefighter, you know, and maybe they did that for a number of years, but they didn't do that. You know, they could be somebody who played sports professionally, for example, and retired from that. We see that this person has strong air in their chart, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. In particular, they could have a Venus in Aquarius placement is what I'm seeing. But again, that doesn't have to be for all of you. This is somebody who's intelligent. This is somebody who's communicative. And again, I do get communicating their feelings comes easy for them. I do also feel, Virgo, like this person does really... They really appreciate intelligence. And in fact, I think they really do need somebody who's going to be intelligent. And Virgos out there, most of you, or all of you, I don't want to say most of you, but a lot of my Virgos out there are extremely intelligent. You're also, you know, you're learners, you're detail oriented, you're good with words, you're good at articulating. So I feel like this is what they see about you, they really like about you. They love your mind, they love the way you communicate, because I do feel like they need that stimulation within a relationship. And I'm kind of seeing with this Five of Swords, I'm starting to understand a little bit of the conflict here. Again, you might meet this person and you might feel a little bit conflicted because of what you've heard about them, or maybe your first impressions of them aren't like, you know, the best. But I also feel too that you two have this kind of tension within the relationship, but in a positive way, not one that dysregulates your nervous system, but one where you do have differing ideas on, you know, religion, politics, and football and things like that. All right, so with the Ace of Cups, though, and the Ace of Swords, there's a lot of potential here, Virgo. And I do think this person is quite a softie. I think they are quite romantic. And I feel that's where you're going to be kind of surprised. This person's heart's overflowing with love. They want love. They're looking for love. They could be a gym rat, all right, Virgo. So they could be someone who... you know, again, don't judge a book by its cover. Maybe they're strong in stature, or maybe you think there's not much depth to this person, but there really is. It feels like this person is somebody who takes good care of their body. You know, they're healthy. They could have short hair. All right. And they could be in their 40s. And that's, again, a really specific message for some of my Virgos out there, but not for all of you. So again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We see hot mess. I do kind of feel that way. Like, even though I do feel like this person is probably pretty successful, a leader, they've done well for themselves. But, you know, I do think that with that moon and the Five of Cups energy, I do feel like this person is a little bit of a hot mess. Sometimes I do think they're a little bit impulsive. Okay. And we see that this is going to be a telepathic connection, though. But you two are also going to just really get each other on a very deep level. All right, so let's see what else my Virgos need to know about this person. All right, we see marriage. So this is somebody that is looking for marriage and commitment. And you might kind of feel like they're a bit of a player at first, or this person, you know, the way that they look or the way they come off, like they must be a player. They're not very romantic, or they're not really committed. And I think that couldn't be farther from the truth. We see community energy, but I do think that there's some sort of gossip around this person, or there may be hesitation, Virgo, on your part getting involved with this person, because there's somewhere that you go that feels sacred to you. For example, the gym. Like if you're one of these people that really enjoys going to the gym and it feels good and it's like your safe place, it's your sacred space, it's your place to decompress, you know, you might be hesitant about getting romantically involved with somebody in that area, in that zone, because it's important to you, right? It's your safe place, it's your sacred place. Again, it doesn't have to be the gym specifically. It could be work. It could be your neighborhood. You know, be careful with getting involved with your neighbors, for example, things like that. All right, and we see official person, which I do like about this connection or this person. It doesn't mean that they don't hold an official title or they don't take life seriously, but I do feel like there's an energy of them being kind of relaxed. Like they're coming out as a bit of a hot mess, right? Not to say that they don't put themselves together, that they can't handle themselves, that they don't present themselves well, but I do feel like this person is kind of giving off a bit more of a relaxed vibe, okay? So let's see, Virgo, what else we need to know. How else will my Virgos be able to identify this person? All right, your paths will cross after you make some sort of final decision. So that could be a job change, it could be a move, it could be a major haircut or something. This person has a noticeable facial feature. Yeah, I'm also getting, for some of you, this person has a beard or a goatee. Of course, I know not all of you are into people or looking for people who can or do grow facial hair, but it is something that came through. Something about their jawline. Okay, I get an element of strength from this person. They may have a severe allergy. This could be to medicine. This could be to food. It could be to bees. They wear a meaningful accessory often, so I am seeing some type of necklace, but of course it could be anything. And for some of you, this person wears gold jewelry. Okay, some of you, they may wear gold jewelry. We also see this person make something valuable with their hands. Okay, so again, maybe they've built a business or they're good at fixing things. They might be an amazing cook. They might be good at decorating. They might be good at doing hair and makeup. They might be good at doing, cutting hair, fixing cars, things like that. Building things is kind of what I'm getting. Or they're just really crafty. Like they're really good at creating solutions with their hands. I know that's so weird. I'm blaming Mercury retrograde on the weird shit that's coming out of my mouth right now. Excuse me. All right, so we see the Ace of Swords. This person is going to be very intellectually attracted to you. It's important that there's this intellectual connection because I feel like this person really values not only just witty banter, but being able to bounce ideas off of their person, be able to talk to them about not only their day and the mundane stuff, but business ideas and their emotions. And like I said, religion, politics, football. All right. Let's see, spirituality. How else are they viewing my Virgos? They admire your mind, and for some of you, your education. Yeah, see, this person might feel like you're not going to give them a chance, though. And like I said, some of my Virgos, you might not, your first impression might not be super positive about this person. They might feel like you're a little bit judgmental or you're going to be judgmental. And again, because most likely you are carrying yourself in a bit of an aloof energy. And we see them being like a little bit of a hot mess. And my Virgos, I know you're always really well put together. You're detail oriented, you're articulate, you're usually quite successful. So I feel like this person might feel like they don't measure up or that you're going to reject them or that this isn't going to go anywhere. They might feel like you kind of give off like a harsh or cold exterior, and so they kind of feel like, well, I like this person or I am really attracted to Virgo, but they're probably not going to give me a chance. And again, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. Some of you, you're just kind of serious when you're at the gym, or you're serious when you're walking to work, or you're serious when you're working or whatever, or you're thinking about your day, you're organizing and planning when you're walking the dog and they see you, like whatever it might be. All right, and we see the Eight of Cups. This person's going to spend some time imagining about you, fantasizing about you. And I also get like this person is really hoping to see you again. So if you've been on a date with this person, they're really hoping you're going to give them another chance, but they also feel like maybe they screwed it up. All right, and for others of you, the Judgment and the Eight of Cups in reverse, and sometimes the Ace of Swords can be a type of reconciliation. So if I am describing an X to a T, take it as it resonates, because this could be somebody who's worried that they don't have a second chance with you and they want that second chance. But again, that's not for all of you. This person just might also feel like you're not interested in a relationship or you're not interested in like something more committed. Okay. And my Virgos, yeah, because look at you, Virgo, you are going to be on the fence about this. And I don't know why that is necessarily. It kind of feels because of first impressions, maybe for one of you because it is somebody you've dealt with here in the past. It could just be that you have a lot going on. You're really focused on school. You're really focused on work. You're focused on your resources. Whatever it might be, it does kind of feel like you're you might be focused on just keeping your head above water, and like, you can't really deal with this right now, especially if they come off as a bit of a hot mess. You might be like, yeah, no, I need to focus on me right now, or you have other options, whatever it might be. So I get a sense of hesitation here. All right. Now, what they also really like about you, Virgo, they see you as the gambler archetype. So you're willing to follow your intuition even when others doubt you. This, to me, gambler energy can also be very connected to entrepreneurial ideas, or an entrepreneurial energy that you have. Now, we also see the martyr archetype coming through, learning to transcend nature of service to oneself or a cause. So yeah, they see that you are self-sacrificing, but not to the point where it's detrimental to you. All right, and we see seeker. Yeah, they love that you have that thirst for knowledge and wisdom, Virgo, and it's coming out more than once here in this reading, because again, this person needs somebody who's intelligent. They need somebody they can connect with intellectually. They need somebody that reads, explores different ideas, likes to watch documentaries, enjoys travel, likes learning about things in whatever format you like to learn. Like whether it's travel, whether it's reading, whether it's watching documentaries, whether it's experiencing. They love that about you. And again, this person really needs that, and most likely because they are that way too. So a lot of this is making sense for me now, Virgo, with the Five of Swords, that there is going to be a little bit of conflict or tension here in bringing this connection together. Okay. And again, because you just might not see them as super compatible, or they're not really your type. Maybe you've heard gossip about them. Maybe they're in a place that's sacred to you and you don't want to mess that up. Maybe because you've got a lot going on, you have other options, but it does feel like there's a little bit of tension in bringing this connection together. But we do see emotional timing coming through. This connection unfolds according to emotional readiness. Patience allows alignment to deepen. So yeah, this is gonna, like, you might not feel emotionally ready when you first meet this person, okay? And we see to awaken a new version of you. This connection activates parts of you that were waiting to emerge. Yeah, and I feel like this person's going to be kind of pulling that out of you, Virgo. Through this bond, you step into a more authentic expression of yourself. Yeah, so you even find out new things about yourself here with this new type of person. And you may meet this person while you're engaging in something you enjoy or feel passionate about. Alignment forms through authenticity. Yeah, so again, it could be the gym, it could be, at an art exhibit, it could be watching your favorite band or musician play or something. But we also see, Virgo, that this connection honors each person's journey. So there is going to be a sense of independence within this connection as well. And again, you might come from very different places, different backgrounds, race, religion, tradition, culture, or you've had very wildly different experiences in love and romance. All right, and we see to teach you what love is and isn't. So this connection clarifies emotional truth by showing you what feels aligned and what no longer does. And I actually feel this is going to be surprisingly in alignment with my Virgos. But maybe you don't feel that at first, or maybe you need some time to figure that out. All right, let's go ahead and see what else we need to know. What else do we need to know? All right, forgiveness. So allow healing waters to wash away the pain of the past. So a healing connection. Maybe for one or two of you, it's some sort of reconciliation. But like I said, my intentions for these readings really are that it's someone brand new. You're manifesting this. Very soon your true love will arrive. So whether you know it or not, Virgo, this is what you're manifesting. We get double confirmation of psychic connection, telepathic connection. So really being able to read each other on a very deep level. Spirit saying this is going to be a dream come true. Have faith. Your rainbow will come smiling through. And look at that. We see let go of the past. Clear your energy to allow more love into your life. So some of my Virgos, you are, you do have a choice between a past person and this person. And I also feel like that really aligns with this connection clarifies emotional truth by showing what feels aligned and what no longer does. So, and I also feel like letting go of the past, like if there's something that you're holding on from the past, like with this connection, you're going to realize why that didn't work out or why it no longer serves you to hold on to that. All right, which is beautiful. A lot of awareness here. All right, let's see. Any important dates or times for my Virgos, please? Any important dates or times for my Virgos? August. So they could be a Leo or a Cancer. It could be unfolding between now and August. Maybe some of you met this person back in August. But we actually see whoever they are, whenever you met or have met, they're coming in or back into your life in the near future. All right, my lovely Virgos, I'm going to leave it here. Sending you love and light. Take care.